Hi and welcome to my Flosstube. My name's Anne, the Max Colour Stitcher. Today is Sunday, the 21st of June 2026, and I'm back for my weekly cross stitch update. So welcome to everyone, whether they be new or existing subscribers. I hope you like what you see, and please feel free to like, subscribe and comment. I love reading all your comments, so thank you very much for taking the time to make some comments. I'm try to make comments, but I have to say I half the time forget. I watch a lot on my TV and then I don't pick up my phone to make the comments. I just go to the next video, and there's so many to watch. We're definitely spoiled for choice, so it's just amazing. I just love it. Love watching cross stitch Flosstube videos. So for anyone new, I'm a full coverage stitcher. I stitch all my projects bar one on 22 count hardanger using DMC and stitching 1/1 full cross. I pick my symbols using Stitchy Mummy's typewriter method, which is picking a symbol in a 10x10 block, top to bottom, left to right, and I will stitch the thread out in the current row, the next row down, and then I will park if it's any further than that. I do find that way I'm not left with a million ninja stitches, and I do see the project come to life. I did have a comment on my video, but just before, while the thought comes to me, whether I get lines, and I don't get lines using this method, whereas I did get lines when I tried stitching by page or stitching by block. But I think a lot of that's to do with your tension, so whether you get lines stitching in that method, you'd have to, I guess, trial and error. I had an okay stitchy week this week. It was my daughter's birthday, so I was expecting a little less than usual. But I did get in 5,800 stitches on 9 projects. So as always, I worked on my 2 weekend focus pieces for 1,000 stitches each. I did 500 stitches on 5 wheel spins, and then I worked on my secondary focus pieces as much time as I had left over. So let's start with my usual start. One of my weekend focus pieces, which is this one, Dragon Race Into the Night. This is artwork by Rose Khan. This is the Max Colour HAED version. It is now retired from there and only available through Paine Free Crafts. So where did I work this week? Well, I'd finished the row last week, so I came back here. Where is it? I can't see. I am still surprised how far down I actually am. Not that far though. So I was working in this, started over here, and I was working in these houses, I guess, buildings, the flagpole, and then across over into the fins, I guess, are they, on his legs? So this week I will be working more into these buildings here, I think, behind the dragon, and then probably more into the green dragon's wing, I'd imagine. So 1,000 stitches on this one as usual. I'm nothing if not, what would you call it? Predictable. That's the word I was looking for. So here we are here. So yes, started from here and worked my way across. I feel like I did get, my 1,000 stitches did show quite a bit of progress. So that's good. Quite a bit of confetti in the windows there. Always seems to be the way. There's like, there's like a 10 stitch window, and every stitch of that 10 stitches is a different color. So that's it there. So yeah, move across here. So there's those buildings I was talking about, and also the fins of on the dragon's leg, and so I just worked my way across. But it was fun starting a new row. It always feels almost like starting a new project, especially when it's stitching on something completely different. This one is so much fun with, finding different things. You're not just stitching the one thing. So with my 1,000 stitches, this now has total stitches of 288,000 out of 417,000. It's gone from 68.82 to 69.06%. So slowly edging my way to 290,000 and also 70%. So that is definitely exciting. And I do apologize for the background noise. I have the window open today. It's 20 degrees here today, Celsius, that is, which is like 69 Fahrenheit. So I didn't think it was hot enough for air conditioning, but I'd get too hot if I had the window closed, even with the t-shirt on. I see my fellow Australians wearing jumpers, so I think it must be quite a bit colder where they are. It's quite warm actually where I live. Well, you know, it doesn't get too hot either. Like, it gets more extremes in other places. But I'll show you the whole thing. So yes, there's quite a few Flosstubers working on this. Sharon Farmers Cross Stitch mentioned me this week because she's working on this one as well. She started in the bottom left corner, so she's actually stitching in a bit that I haven't got to yet. So that's fun to watch that part of the chart come to life. And she's obviously doing the Pain Free Crafts version as well. The next focus piece that I stitch 1,000 stitches on is this one. This is Library of Cats Right panel. This is artwork by Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven Earth Designs. This is sorry, don't know what I clicked on then. This is supersized max color, and I am in the top row. But I got a milestone on this one this week, so I was very excited. So as I said last week, I'd be working in the greenery here and then into this frame of something, door, window. You'll see it anyway. So I'm actually not that far from the edge now. I actually do have quite a bit of extra fabric, I think, on. You'll see when I show you. But yeah, so I'm about here now, so not long to go at all. And I saw, I think it was in Siske's group, someone has just, or it could be, yeah, I think it was Siske's, they finished, or maybe it's another group. They finished this portrait of this cat, and that looks amazing, so excited to get to there. But yes, I got a milestone on this one. I reached 1%. So how exciting is that? So excited. So here we are here. So I have absolutely no idea where I started because I forgot to look at my starting picture from last Sunday. I think I was in the greenery here. I know where I worked yesterday, and that was all along filling in this and then filling in the greeny blue color in that window pane there. And that's that center bit that I showed you. I'll pop up a mock-up so you can see where I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't have long to go. It's definitely not, I don't think it's definitely that far. So, but yes, 1,000 stitches on this one again. So this now has 7,000 stitches out of 696,303. It's gone from 0.86 to 1.01%. Yay! Finally made it to 1%. 1% definitely feels like an achievement on this. This is my only supersize. And you can see that I do stitch quite a lot into that second row. So that second row will, it's almost sort of half done already. So although I don't have a row finish yet, I still have amazing progress into the second row. So that second row won't take as long, but then again, if I then stitch into the third row, then it's the same, isn't it? So they're my two focus pieces. So I'll get 1,000 stitches on each of them again this week. So I do 500 stitches a day. So I'll do 500 stitches on each today, and then I'll do 500 stitches again on Saturday. So we move on to my wheel spins, of which I have 5 for Monday to Friday, and I stitch 500 stitches on each of those. Just saves me saying it each time, doesn't it? The first one I spun was this one, Catnap. I do love this one. And it's not that big either, so it's not daunting. Won't take as long, and screens have just gone to sleep. So this is artwork by Jeff Haynie. This is the max color version, charted by HAED. So I was stitching in the this blue cat, I guess, and into the feather. So I think I'm on my third row, if I'm not mistaken, on this one. All right, where is it? Over here. Forgot to have it set up, this one. I forgot I stitched on this one. Sorry, just trying to get rid of some of these parked threads, of which there are always many. And there's lots of crows, always lots of crows. So here we are here. So I know I filled in a few stitches in this blue cat, and then I filled in quite a lot of stitches in that feather there. So that's good. And there's just, I do like to make it a little bit neat. I know it's hard with the park threads, but. So this now has total stitches of 15,500 out of 179,000. It's gone from 8.38 to 8.66%. So that's fun. So my next wheel spin was one we hadn't seen for a long time because it wasn't in Aimee, which is this one. This is Dreaming of Christmas, artwork by Sheena Pike. It is retired, charted by HAED. I know a couple of people have asked for Charting Creations to chart this, and Sheena Pike was going to redo the artwork, but I haven't seen whether that's happened yet. So I was just working in the dog's paw there. So I am quite far down on this one because that's, I can't move it up any further. Oh, and I did stitch some of the holly leaf as well. This one's always hard to hold because these are rods from Russia. Many years ago I bought them, and they are, well, I don't know what wood they are, but they're very heavy wood. Much heavier than my Omnics and my Gus. So, yep, I just stitched in his leg there and into the green. So I don't have much to go to finish that row. But yeah, this one's such a cute one. I do love it. So with my 500 stitches, this now has 135,500 stitches out of 166,678. It's gone from 81% exactly to 81.29%. All my scroll rod projects this week, so my arms are getting a bit of a workout. The next piece I stitched on is this one. This is Crafty Cap. This is artwork by Brigid Ashwood, charted by Paine Crafts. The last time I stitched on this, I got a row finish. So I was back over here. That's not really going to work, but I was back over here in the pink flower. So here we are here. So started here and worked my way across with my 500 stitches, and then some of them did go down. Still not really that much to see. Still early days on this one, that's for sure. But it's so good to have that row finished. I do find the top row the hardest, so everything after that is so much easier. So with my 500, this now has total stitches of 7,500 out of 226,600. It's gone from 3.09 to 3.31%. So that's Crafty Cat. The next one I worked on was another one we hadn't seen for a long time because it didn't come out in Aimee, which is this one, Flowers, Fur and Feathers. This is artwork by Ciro Marchetti. It is max color, charted by HAED. And I was just working in, I finished off some, the yellow in this flower, and then I was working a lot in this, what is that? A flower bud type thing. I actually wondered what I was stitching on when I was stitching on it, and I didn't actually look at the mock-up, so now I'm looking at it. So I'm like, oh, that's what it was. Funny. I often don't look at what I'm stitching on, unless I'm like seriously confused, and then I'm like, hang on, what is that? And I actually did think I should look at what it was, but then I'm like, yeah, I'll just keep stitching. So yeah, you can see I got quite a lot of stitches in. So I filled in, and I actually thought I was working on that, but I don't think I did. I worked on this, the stem that connects to this flower bud thing. Oh, I don't know. Words, I swear you just lose words when you're doing a floss tube. Words you know what the words are, but you just lose them. So 500 stitches on this one. Doesn't get you very far, I know. This now has total stitches of 76,500 out of 350,175. It's gone from 21.7 to 21.85%. So many scroll rods this week. That's the last of my scroll rods. So the next one I spun was a new start. And yeah, it was quite amusing that I specifically said I didn't want my new start on Friday, and then I spun the wheel spin, and that happened to be on Friday. So this will be Monday's project as well, so I can get my 1,000 stitches, which is what I always do when what I like to do when I start any project. So my new start, this is Black Cat. This is artwork and charted by Siske Stitches Designs. If you want her designs, you can contact her directly through Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, or and you can see all her designs, including the mock-ups, in her Facebook group. And all her bits will be in her Flosstubes. Her contact details and whatnot will be in her Flosstubes. So yeah, the mock-ups are in her group, and it's just an €8 Ko-fi donation. So this is the mock-up for Black Cat. And this is my cat Bella, so I had to stitch it. And obviously new start, I am just in the very left corner because that's where I do all my starts, and I got 500 stitches because that's what my wheel spins do. So not much to see, but I hope you can see that. It does look very dark. It's a lot lighter in person, but you can see, well, the first colours were black, but then there's a lot of purples. So that's 500 stitches out of 312,000. It's gone from 0% obviously to 0.16%. And this is max colours. I don't think I said that. So I'll get another 500 stitches on that one on Monday. So it'll be exciting. So then my wheel spins for the week. And then we move on to my secondary focus, of which I didn't get much stitching on this week, but that's okay. The first one I stitched on, so it is my daughter's birthday month. So my secondary focus pieces are the ones that she chose for me to stitch for her. Not to say that she wants to steal a lot of my other ones, but I mean, eventually she'll have all of them anyway, let's face it. That'll be in her inheritance from me. But last week I had stitched 200 stitches on this one, so I had 800 stitches to stitch to finish off my 1,000 stitch rotation, which is what I do on my secondary focus. This is Christmas Pony, artwork by Clip Art Studio X. It's the max size, max color version from Stitches So Beautiful. And I am still in the top row. But I did 1,000 stitches, well, I did 800 to finish off my 1,000 stitch rotation. I think with another 1,000 stitches, I'll have that top row complete. And I will be so excited because I hate the top row. So you can't really see much. There was a lot of 3865 and then it's actually gone into 712. And I think a lot of the rest of the row will be 712. This is the ear. So here we are here. So it's got, I don't cut my fabric, so who knows how far it's got to go. I think another 1,000, as I said. So yeah, slowly getting there. This now has total stitches of 5,500 out of 360,000. It's gone from 1.31 to 1.53%. And it's on a nice pale blue hardanger, so I can see the white stitches. So I was saying last week that I was very happy that, you know, it only had, I think I said 28,000 white, or 3865. I think that's what I said. 28,000, yeah. But then I didn't look at 712 and it's got 36,712. So that's still a light colour, not as bad as 3865, but and then of course I ran out of 712 this week, didn't I? So I had to go to the shops. Oh dear. So anyway, I bought a whole heap of them because I need a lot for 36,000 stitches. And I bought more 3865 while I was there, just, I'm not going to run out. So I'm doing 4 secondary focus whips for this month. That was number 4. No, number 4? Yes, that was number 4. So we're going back to number 1. I don't know. This was a new start last week before. New start the week before. The weeks, they're just blending into one, I tell you. So the next one I worked on was this one. This, yeah, as I said, was a new start 2 weeks ago. This is artwork by Siske Stitch Designs again, but this one was charted by Rachel at Top Bobbin Designs on Etsy. I see Sharon Fun with Cross Stitch has also started this one, so that it will be fun seeing her progress because she always starts in the bottom left. So yeah, she's always stitching a different part than me. So I'm still in the top row, obviously, just about here. blue-ish. Hard to tell when it's all just blue, but it's fun stitching the blue. So 500. I actually did get 500 stitches on this one. So secondary focus pieces needs 1,000. I've done 500 stitches so far. So this will get another 500 stitches this week. And I started maybe here-ish and worked my way across, and I did work my thread out where needed. So this now has total stitches of 1,500 out of 319,970. It's gone from 0.31 to 0.47%. And I don't think I said that this is also max color, but I mean, it'd probably be easier for me to say what's not max color at this point. So 0.47, so that's a pretty good percentage, I think. So that is all my stitching for the week. So yes, a little less than normal. I do like to get 6,000 minimum, so 5,800's not quite enough, but I didn't, with my daughter's birthday, you know, it's still a big, good number, so I'm very happy with that. So plans, I did sort of touch on them as I was going through. So 1,000 stitches on my focus projects, which is Dragon Race into, on my weekend focus projects, which is Dragon Race Into the Night and Library of Cats. Then I will be doing 5 wheel spins. Monday is already taken with Black Cat, so we need to do 4 wheel spins. And I mentioned that I had to rewind my video, and it was quite fun reading the people who commented and say they also say rewind. I asked my daughter if she says rewind, and she says no, she does not say rewind. So, but obviously she knows what I'm talking about, but that's not something she would say. So that's funny. So with I don't have my secondary focus pieces on my wheel. So I have 17 in total, and I have 3 left. So I will be spinning to see which order I do these 3, and then I will need 1 more for Friday. So let's spin, and then I'll have to write them down so I don't have to rewind. Kitten caboodle. And I'll pause the video and I will go and get them. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday will be A True Love. And Thursday is going to be Elegant. I don't know why I spun that. Oh, and it's been so long since I've worked on that one, because that didn't come out doing me Aimee, so I haven't seen it for 6 weeks now. Long time. All right, so let's reset the wheel and spin for Friday. Scruffy muffin. So that will be fun. So I'll just go and get those now. Okay, so let's go through where I'm going to be working on in my wheel spins. So we'll start with, so you saw Black Cat, which was going to be Mondays. Tuesdays is Kitten Caboodle. This is artwork by Simonetta Ubiali, charted by Charting Creations. And the last time I worked on this, I got a row finish. So I'll be coming back over here and working on, possibly just working on that chair. The cat's sitting on a chair. Maybe get across to the cat's paw as well and fill in some more stitches there. So it'll be fun. Wednesday was A True Love. So last time I stitched on this, I started over here on this side again because the time before I'd finished the row. So I'll just be working more in the background. You won't get to see much, and also, yeah, pretty easy stitching on that one. And then Thursday is Elegant Floral Sewing Kit. True Love is Edahozo Rosa Stitches So Beautiful, max size, max colour. This is Elegant Floral Sewing Kit. This is also Stitches So Beautiful, is artwork by Leader Drum. Where am I working on it? I have absolutely no idea. Oh yes, I think over here. So I think I am over here finishing off this row here, by the looks of it. Honestly, it's been so long since I worked on this, I cannot remember. So but this has the highest part thread, so I'd assume it has to be over here. So missing in a stitch, she mentions me whenever she stitches on this one, because I inspired her to start this one. So, but she's stitching the background, so she's still in the background. I've taken the background out on this one, so harder for me, but I'm into the fun stuff a lot earlier. And this is in memory for my mum, so it's, yeah, it'd be good to get back into it, that is for sure. That's one thing with having, I'll go more into plans when I talk about that, but I do miss my projects if I don't get to spin on them. And the last one was Scruffy Muffin. This is artwork by someone. Fantasy Digitals. This is chartered by the Cross Stitch Studio, which their website's now closed, and their artwork is available on the Paine Free Crafts website, as long as the license continues. So once the license runs out, it'll no longer be available. So if you did want to get this one, probably best to get it now. So just be working in Scruffy's head, and I'm slowly getting it all done all the way across. Still, I sort of started off not in the typewriter method and trying to get it all squared up now, and then eventually I can then move the Q-snap, because it's been it's been in this position for a long time. But I'm also removing the background on this one, so that's a challenge, but I think it's turning out really nice on this hand dyed fabric. And this is 25 count, my only 25 count, hand dyed by Paddock Lane Designs in the colourway Autumn Leaves. So they're my wheel spins for the week, and then I'll be working my secondary focus as much as I can. I hope to get a bit more stitching this week. No birthdays. So I'll be finishing the 500 stitches on Catching a Butterfly, and then I'll be back to Paris Morning, which is artwork by Uliana Babenko, chartered by, this is a HAED. And I'll just be, it won't be 1,000 stitches to finish that side, maybe 500, and then I'll switch back over to this side. But it'll just be pinks this week. And then I seem to be getting around 1,500 stitches on my secondary focus pieces in a week. I only got 1,200 this last week. I seem to generally get 1,500, but occasionally I'll get a little more. So if I do finish Paris Morning, then we're back into Cradled by Waves, Filled with Love and Wonder. I'll just show you the mock-up. I haven't got it out. So that is my plans for this week. So looking forward to that. So plans for next month. I did ask what everyone's thoughts were. And a lot of people said, themes, categories, whatever you like. I know Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, she has just started her category plans, rotation, whatever you want to call it. But she has a lot more projects than me. So I don't think I would have enough themes or categories to really be able to, you know, have lots of categories. So at this point, I mean, I haven't firmed up, and I think I will possibly firm up once I do my mid-year whip parade, which I hope to do pretty soon after the 30th of June. I'm not really sure when I'm going to get a chance to do it. It shouldn't take too long, since I only have, what, 17 plus 4 plus 2, 23 whips, I think, at this point, plus Black Cat Christmas tree, so that'll be 24. Just see where I'm at with all my projects, see how many stitches I've got on each of them so far this year, see what I want to achieve for the rest of the year. I think that's possibly going to be what determines what I stitch on for the rest of the year. Siske commented on my video and said I should stitch on what I actually want to get finished, and that's really a good point. Yeah, I want all of them finished, but there's some I want more than others, I suppose. Dragon Race is obviously one of them, and that will always stay. And Library of Cats gets, I mean, I do want it finished, and I hope to get it finished, but I'm mostly stitching on it because it's so big. And to get anywhere, you know, you need to put significant progress into it on a regular basis. Stitching with Mel, she mentioned me on her last video because she's decided against doing Library of Dogs because she didn't want to put, you know, 1,000 stitches into a week, which is completely understandable. It's a big commitment, that's for sure, and you have to really like the piece. I mean, I was, how many times did I mention Library of Cats? So you know, that was something I always aimed to do, and yeah, I do, and I am enjoying stitching on it, I have to say. And it is, I have done one Aimee Stewart before. I did Quick Stitch Unicorn Haven or something, I think it's called. I'll put up, if it's not Unicorn Haven, I'll put up what it's called as the description below, unless it's still in my, no, it's not still in my pattern keeper. And that was fun. Well, I mean, it was a lot of work because Aimee Stewart. And I saw Steph.x Stitch is doing Aimee Stewart month or something. And yeah, Aimee Stewart does have some lovely artwork. So it does, yeah, it does tempt me to do other Aimee Stewarts, but I probably don't need any more whips at this point. But yeah, she's got some lovely artwork, and it's, I am gravitating towards more colourful artwork at the moment. So in saying that, I've still got a lot that aren't, don't I? Like a Christmas pony, but yeah, I didn't choose that one. I don't think I would choose a project to stitch that's got so many light colours. But anyway, so possibly going to, and yeah, I still haven't firmed up my plans, but I'm thinking about possibly having one or two that I want finished, which like are furthest along, and then one or two that I just love, which is my Blooming Whiskers and Crafty Cat. But still thinking about it. Still thinking. But I really appreciate everyone's comments, so thank you very much for commenting about that. And I'm still not sure how many focus pieces to have either, because it's, if I get, I'd love to be able to get 2,000 stitches, so 2 1,000 stitch rotations on each of my secondary focus pieces in a week. That would mean if I had 4, you know, that each get 2,000 stitches a month. But I just don't know if I can manage that on a regular basis. It's more likely going to be 1,500. So, which means, yeah, I wouldn't quite get 2,000 on each of them. So then do I just have 3 and then get you know, extra stitches on 3 instead of 4. I don't know. Anyway, we'll move on to mentions. So I've already mentioned a few that mentioned me through the video, so I'll just mention anyone else I haven't mentioned, and everyone will be linked below. So Holly the cross stitch addict mentioned me for the typewriter method. James the PH stitcher mentioned me because he is doing a Sunday focus piece, and yeah, I mentioned everyone else through the video. So thank you for all the mentions. I always yeah, it's always fun to hear someone talk about me. And yeah, there's quite a few people now doing the typewriter method and also rounding off their stitches to the rounded numbers. I think that it's caught on. It's just, it is so much easier. It's so much easier to say. I have to, you know, on your videos especially. And then, you know, I do quite a few floss Facebook cross-stitching games, and a lot of them have rounded stitch counts, so 100, 200, 500, 1,000. So it just makes sense to have everything rounded, and then I know exactly, you know, how many stitches I've got to post for that particular prompt. So that's it for mentions. So let's move on to life. So yeah, a busy week this week. As I said, my daughter had her birthday. She's now 12. Oh, it is so hard to believe. I don't know where the years have gone, honestly. I think every parent says that. But she had an amazing day. We went shopping. Every pre-teens girl's dream of shopping till you drop. She has been asking me for tall horse riding boots. She does horse riding lessons, and she's always just had the short ones, and she's been after me for these tall ones for as long as I can remember. So I promised her she could have some for her birthday, so she got to wear them yesterday for her lesson, and she absolutely loved it. So yeah, and I also had to renew her wardrobe. She has it is winter, as I said, not that cold, but you still need some warm clothes. And she put on her pants and her jumpers, and yeah, the jumper was like up to here, and the pants were about the same, you know, this far from the bottom of her ankles. So we had to buy all new winter clothes. So yeah, that was more of a necessity, but and definitely cannot choose clothes for her. Whatever I choose, she wouldn't like and she wouldn't wear, so there's just no point in me choosing anything. So always have to take her shopping. I think everyone with a preteen/teenage girl would know that that's pretty much on par these days. So yeah, that was fun. Lots of shopping, lots of fun. I was going to say something else and now I can't remember. But yeah, she had a great day. So this week is her last week of school. Not for the year, like other countries, because it is winter. But she does get 2 weeks off for her winter break. So she's looking forward to that. She's done all her tests or assessments or whatever she has to have done. So this week will be very cruisy for her. I actually don't even know what they're going to be doing. Not like, I know they're not going to be learning, as in, you know, learning things to be tested on, because that's all done and dusted for the. And I think her teacher. I think she said her teacher's going to Canada to visit her kid or something. So her teacher's not even going to be there. So yeah, it'll be a relief teacher anyway. So I don't know what they're going to be doing. She tried to convince me she didn't need to go. She's just like, oh, don't need to go, I won't be doing anything. I'm like, he's still going. It's a requirement that she goes, so she still has to go. But yeah, be a cruisy week for her, and definitely not a cruisy week for me. Trying to get everything wrapped up prior to end of financial year, which is 30th of June, so we are definitely fast approaching that. So will I get it done? No. But I'm going to try to get as much done as I can, and then I will be taking some time off regardless. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I probably won't get, not sure exactly when I'll be taking time off. I want to take a few days off during my daughter's school holidays, so we can spend some time together. So, but just not sure exactly what days yet. They have, her riding school has horse riding day camps, so they get to go and just during the day and do a couple of lessons and feed and groom and whatever else with the horses. So still firming up what days will be available for that. So she'll be doing that, plus yeah, I'll take a few days off, and yeah, looking forward to that. So yeah, busy week. Try to get as much stitching in as I can, and I'll definitely get my usual stitching, I hope, and as much as I can on my secondary focus pieces. So that's it for me. I hope everyone has a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.